Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated comics for, holy cow, November 1st, 2023. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week because hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. So before we get started, guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to Whatnot. Whatnot is a free app that you can download, okay? And once you download this app, which is in my link in the description box below, and you make your first bid and win on that auction, guys, you will get a free $15, or I should say $15 off of your first purchase. So whether you're a collector of comics or Legos or Hot Wheels or whatever it is that you collect out there, you win that first auction, $15 off. So use my link in the description box below. So let's kick off this video with the hot seat now, and we have Supergirl Issue 1. I'm pretty sure this is a one-shot. It's a special, and this is written by Marco Tamaki. So I'll really be on the fence about this one for sure. This is a story about her finding her place in the world because I guess Power Girl is here, and this kind of reminds me of the Superboy comic that we most recently got. Like, he didn't felt like he belonged because of all the other super family members, so he went out in space and did his own thing. This story kind of seems the same way, but it's just a one-shot. So I don't know if I will be spending my money on this, but I definitely wanted to let you guys know that this one exists out there in case you are a Supergirl fan. This is 48 pages, $6 comic book. The book that's on the rise, this is the Avengers Issue 7 written by Jed MacKay. If you guys have not read Avengers written by Jed MacKay, I think you should. I think it's a pretty good run up until this point. They have been fighting this group by the name as the Ashen Combine. And these characters were pretty cool. They matched up well against all the different Avengers team. And they had this city, this Ashen Combine villain team. They had this floating city. And now that they've been defeated, well, the city now is part of the Avengers, and it's like their new home base, and it floats just in orbit above Earth, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. Where does the direction go with this comic? I'm not really sure, but it definitely does have to do with Vision, and something is, I think, going wrong with him. So we'll see where that goes. The legacy numbering here is 773, 28 pages, and this one is $4. Moving on to the top 10 now. And the only reason why this is on my top 10 is because I'm anticipating it to be over. This is Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War, Scorched Earth. So this is it, right? The war ends here. It's like Batman and Catwoman have teamed up now to fight Vandal Savage and his daughter Scandal Savage. So it's just it just became lame at this point. Like, at first the event was, for me, it was like, okay. And then just as I continued to read this, it got like worse and worse progressively. And I want to know in the comments below what you thought of it. I did find it a little bit interesting with Jason Todd, how he has, as Batman has inserted this like fear inside of him to try to lead this normal life. But I just feel like the writing between titles is inconsistent. Like, you got Batman Gotham War going on, right? And then Batman seems to be written differently than in Batman and Robin and in the Catwoman book. Like, he just seems a little bit more unhinged in the main Batman book than in the other ones, right? I mean, am I wrong here? Just let me know in the comments below. I'm happy this is ending. 48 pages, $6. Moving on to number 9, we have X-Men issue 28. So the last issue of X-Men was okay, but the big thing that we wound up getting is that the Juggernaut was captured based off of the whole Fall of X situation, the Galabian destroyed and mutants being destroyed, and you thought maybe Juggernaut was destroyed, but you find out that he was captured and in jail in this time, and Kitty Pryde, who is now Shadowcat once again, released him from prison. So it looks like now he's going to be fighting with the good guys, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like he's doing battle against Firestar. But if you followed the gala event and what's been going on in the main title, Firestar is kind of the mole in everything, and Jean Grey set that whole thing up. Long story, but interested to see the outcome in this book. 28 pages, $4. Coming in at number 8, this is a blast from the past. This is the Return of Superman, Issue 1. So Superman returns after the tragic events of more than 30 years ago, when Superman met the end of his hands of Doomsday and Metropolis mourned his loss, and we wound up getting all the different types of Supermen, like Eradicator and Superboy and Steel and all those different guys, right? So we're going to be getting I guess a story told. I don't know if it's during that time frame or not, but it's what's going on. So what can you expect? If you were a fan from this, I think you're gonna like it, right? If you were not around during this time and you never read The Reign of Superman, then you might not care about it. But for me, this was one of the few DC things I read back in the day, so I want to see what these Lost Tales have to offer. So we'll see what happens here. This is a big boy. This is 80 pages, and this is $10. Holy shit, I didn't realize it was 10 bucks and 80 pages. So we'll see what it has to offer. Coming in at number 7, we have Ultimate Universe Issue 1. So this is the one-shot now that's starting to kick off the whole Marvel Ultimate Universe once again. And I think people are starting to jump back on board with the Ultimate Universe. I know people weren't really excited after the ending of Hickman's little, 4-issue story, but now we got announced that we got Black Panther and we got Spider-Man, and I think, what did we get? We got another couple of titles coming in there as well. So this one is just a one-shot, I guess, kicking everything off. So we'll see what it has to offer. I don't have too much to say about it. The most exciting thing I'm looking forward to is Ultimate Spider-Man, of course. This one is 40 pages, and this one is $7. That's a lot of money too, man. Jesus God. Come on. Coming in at number 6, we have a new Widow book, but it's not Black Widow. It's White Widow. Yelena Belova is back, and I'm curious what she's going to do in this one, because if you've read Venom, most recently Black Widow has become a symbiote, and she calls herself Widow, which is actually pretty good. It was pretty well written in the Venom comic book. So I want to know what this next mission is, what she has to offer in the Marvel Universe these days. Is she going to be a more significant role? Is she going to work with Black Widow? I don't know. There's a lot of questions here that I want answered. I'm just hoping for a solid comic. 40 pages, $5. Speaking of number 5, top 5, here we go. Blood Commandment Issue 1. This is a 4-issue mini horror comic. This is from the creator that did Something Epic. So this could be pretty cool. It's about a father and a son that are living deep in the forest to try to get away from some kind of supernatural forces. Again, I don't really know what to expect from this comic book, but again, it's Halloween season. You guys know I love horror comics. I am looking forward to this one. I'm hopeful that it's scary, it's chilling, it gives me the creeps, and I'm on board, man. This one is 32 pages. This one is $4. Moving on to number 4, we have another zombie apocalyptic book. This is called Almost Dead. This is issue 1. This is from Blaze, and it's a very familiar story. There's this woman who wakes up after some freak accident and she realizes there's a zombie apocalypse that's happening, right? And it looks like she has to deal with it on the eastern seaboard. I don't know. It sounds very much like The Walking Dead, but the last zombie apocalypse book that I read from Ablaze had Walking Dead elements to it, but it was fantastic. It was so well written. I absolutely loved it. There was twists and turns and things that you did not expect to happen. So just when you thought you knew what was going to happen, you were like blown away and it was something different. And it's kind of what I'm expecting here with Almost Dead Issue 1. So if you love zombie books, if you love end of the world books like I do, you're going to love this one. I think this one is a $4 comic book. So speaking of Widow, we now have Venom Issue 27 coming in at number 3, the Venom of the Widow. So we have Natasha, who is now a symbiote known as Widow, who is teaming up with Dylan Brock, who is Venom's son, and they're basically going out on the town doing their missions and whatnot. And the cool thing about this one now is we're learning Natasha is trying to like be one with the symbiote, and the symbiote is a new spawn, right? So it's a newborn. It's kind of cool seeing her actually use the symbiote for the first time, and the hive mind, and seeing the inner workings of the symbiote. So I think that was done really well in the last issue, and hopefully they continue to build on that. How long will Natasha have this symbiote? I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool right now. The legacy numbering on this is 227. It's 28 pages, a $4 comic. And are you guys over symbiotes, or are you down with Black Widow being a symbiote? Coming in at number 2, we have Spider-Boy Issue 1. Finally, the secrets of Spider-Boy is revealed, spinning out of the pages of Dan Slott's End of Spider-Verse. So Spider-Boy was a hit character earlier in the year. Everyone was glamoring over that Humberto Ramos cover, and we got sprinkles of Spider-Boy here and there. And I think he's a pretty cool character. He's something a little bit different. And in this first issue, we'll get to see more of him. I think the big draw of it was, how do people not know of this Spider-Boy? And how he was inserted into this universe was quite interesting. So I'm on board. 40 pages, $6. Remember, webheads, after number 1, we are not done, as we still have those noteworthy comic books to talk about, because these 10 or 11, 12 comic books I discussed might not even be on your radar, but the noteworthy ones might be something worth considering for you anyway. So, what is the number 1 comic book week that I'm looking forward to next week? Well, that is The Sacrificers. This is issue 4. We finally learned what happens to those kids at the end of issue 3, and it's pretty sad, right? But one kid is still alive, and what is he going to do in all of this? Is he going to be like the savior of all the other kids out there that are being sacrificed? Is he going to find the horrors of what's going on with these gods? Like, how these kids wound up getting killed in the last issue was absolutely horrible. Like, it was, oh my gosh. You gotta read it to find out. If you haven't read Sacrificers by Rick Remender, what are you waiting for, guys? Check this one out. Hopefully you can find it on the racks today. If not, you might have to wait for that first trade. But this is a great comic book. This one is 32 pages and $4. Here we go. Noteworthy comics. We're gonna keep it up. Kick it off with Marvel, and we have this Dark Droids crap that's still going on. We have from Star Wars Issue 40. I want to know in the comments below, how many of you guys are reading Dark Droids events right now? Like, have you even started it? Let me know. This is very important. I want to know. Then we have Scarlet Witch Issue number 10. Keeping on the sorcery side of things, we have Doctor Strange. This is issue 9. Then we move on to the miniseries of Magneto. This is issue 4. And then we have a little lighthearted comic book here. It's Jeff the Land Shark, but it's like Jeff-verse. So now we have a whole bunch of like little land sharks running around, because we need that, right? And then we move on to DC Comics here. We have Detective Comics issue 1076. If you love Aquaman and you're excited about that movie coming out, we got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom Special Issue 1. Then we have Spirit World Issue 6, and really guys, that's about it for DC Comics. There's not a lot coming out for that particular week. Next, we move on to the indie comics. We have King Spawn Issue 27. Then we move on to the Gargoyles, the Dark Ages. This is Issue 4. Next, we have Ghost Lore. This is Issue 5. Godzilla fans, if you haven't gotten enough Godzilla in DC, we have Godzilla Here, There, Be Dragons, number 5. Next, if you're giving it a second try, more power to you. No pun intended. We have Ranger Academy. This is Issue 2. Then we move on to Masters of the Universe? Masters of the Universe Forge of Destiny Issue 3. Then we have an interesting comic that I'm going to check out here. This is called Red Light Issue 1. This is from AWA Upshot. You might want to check this one out. This could be a really good one, a really under the radar type of book. Then we have Savage Red Sonja Issue 1, another Red Sonja book. And there you guys have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comics for the 1st of November 2023. In the comments below, guys, I want to know what you're most excited for that comic book week. And of course, guys, I'm going to leave you my top 10 comic book covers of the week. It's a year-long series where you can vote on your favorite comic book cover. And as always, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but more importantly, always read those comics. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.